Okay, so here's a video just to show how to add weights to an SPSS file. So this is the SPSS file for the Alberta Health data set. You can see all of the variables there, and we can see there's no weight variable there because I've taken that out. And so to add weights, it's really simple. I already have this script ready to go, so you just have to run all of the lines of code here. And this will compute a new variable called weight with a value of 0. And then for every region, it will change the weight to the appropriate value. And so these are just matched up to the usual Alberta regional stratified sampling frame that we have. And then if this changes, it's an easy matter to change the weights according to region. And then the last line of code just adds a label to the variable called sampling weight so that we know what it is. So I'm going to run this, and we see the SPSS processor says that it's been run. An easy way to check this is we can run a frequency on the region variable before and after applying the weights to see how it matches up with the output from StatXP. So I'm going to run. I guess I should show. There's the weight variable that's been created there. So first thing, actually, let's run frequencies on the weights to make sure that they've shown up. So on the variable list on the left here, we'll just move sampling weights over. Okay, and we see that it has applied sampling weights to 1,000 cases, which is everything in the data set. So now what we can do is we can run frequencies on the region, and I haven't applied the weights yet. So what the point of this is just to make sure that both the unweighted and the weighted frequencies match up. So we're going to run a frequency distribution on final region for quotas, and the weights have not been applied yet. And so we see that there's 334 for Calgary, 333 for Edmonton, and then 111 for each of the regions. And if we open up the tables here, we see 334 unweighted for Calgary, 333 for Edmonton, and then 333 in total for the rest of Alberta. So what we can do now in SPSS is we can apply the weights and then run the frequency distribution again just to make sure that it all works out. So to apply the weights, we'll go data, weight cases. We're going to select weight cases by the radio button here, and then scroll down, select sampling weight, move it over to frequency variable sample weights, and we can see the SPSS has run that command. And so now if we run a frequency distribution on the final region for quotas variable and press OK, it's different, right? So now it's 317 for Edmonton instead of 333. And then we get different values for Southern Alberta, Central Alberta, and Northern Alberta. And this should match up with the weighted total. So Calgary stays the same at 334, Edmonton is 317, and then the rest of Alberta is 349, which is the sum of 98, 142, and 109. And so then after that, you can simply save this, and the new sampling weight variable will be saved into the final data set, and that can be sent to the client. A note on weighting cases. The weight cases command only applies to the session of SPSS that you're in. So if I close this, we won't save anything. And if we open this same data set again, so I've saved it. So the weight variable is still there. But if I go to data weight cases, the weights aren't applied. So if you want to run an analysis, just make sure you run the weight cases command before running any analysis, because that command only applies to the current session of SPSS. So that's it. If you have any questions, as always, just reach out to me.